All right. So on Tuesday, we learned adding, subtracting, and multiplying. Right. Today we're going to talk about, since we're talking about division, right? The fourth operation. And in order to do that, there's a couple different ways to do division with polynomials or with functions. I'm going to teach you synthetic, but there are a few different methods. But for the sake of time today, I'm going to teach you my favorite method, which is synthetic division. Okay. There are a few different ways that you can write these problems. You can write it with like the old school, like kindergarten division. You can write it with a division bar like that. You can write it like all the way, like f of x divided by or over g of x. Or you can write it how a computer writes it, which is like this, which is with that slash there all on one line, right? The word that means division is quotient, right? Quotient, and the order matters. So this is the quotient of f divided by g. Right? So f divided by g. Cool, cool. Okay. If I was taking notes, I probably wouldn't write all of that down. What I would probably write down is synthetic division. And then I might write down like f divided by g of x, like this. And then I might say that like this part could be f over g, or f of x over g of x, or maybe f of x slash g of x, or quotient, right? So I might not write down all of these words. I might not write, problems could be written in many ways, right? I might write down what's here. So for me, it might make the most sense to just write down this part here, right? Up to you. If you already wrote down a bunch of stuff, that's totally fine, no problem. But this is that section there. Cool. All right, we're gonna do our first example. Our first example looks like this. I'm gonna go ahead and have us actually change this problem. I need this to be a different problem. Please hold while I figure out what that problem was. Hold on. My apologies, everyone. I deleted everything from the last class, and that was not helpful. Okay. Not that one. Hold on. Well, this is very unhelpful. Oh, I know. I can check my other one. Okay, this is the f of x that we're writing down. We're writing down x to the third plus x squared minus 5x minus 2. Okay, let me go back to ours. I'll write it down. Here we go. So the f of x that we are writing down, thanks for your patience, is x to the third plus x squared minus 5x minus 2. And then we're going to use this g of x right here, x minus 2. X minus 2. If you did the notes from the video already, that is totally fine. If you did the notes from the video already, you can actually get started on the assignment if you're feeling confident. If you are not feeling confident, then you can go ahead and do this problem with us and then ask any questions that you have and then jump off when you're ready. Great question. Okay, so it says, what is f of x divided by g of x? So I'm going to write one big fraction. It says x to the third plus x squared minus 5x minus 2. And my AirPods died. Hold on one moment. All right, can you hear me now? Hopefully. Can you hear me? Yes. Oh, I got a thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs up.
Is it better or worse with my AirPods? Which one's better, my AirPods or the headphones? Or the same? Oh, okay, great. Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Faith. Thanks, Allie. Cool. Okay. So we have f of x here, and then we have g of x, right? G of x is x minus 2, like that. So we have f of x divided by g of x. So there are two things that we have to do to set up this problem. The first part is to put a number right here, and then we are going to draw this upside down division bar. Fun fact, actually, remember how in elementary school, you don't have to write this blue part down. Remember in elementary school how you were like 16 divided by 4, and then you had to think, okay, how many times does 4 go into 16? Oh, it's 4, and you wrote it on top. Everybody remember that this section? Hopefully, yeah. Yes, more thumbs up. Thank you. So, fun fact, in other countries, they actually write it like this. They say 16 divided by 4, and they put a 4 under here like that, right? So, in other countries, they write it what is upside down to us. So, today we're going to do what's upside down to us, and we're going to plug it in here. Cool? So, we're going to make that upside down division bar. The first part of the setup is we're going to take this number right here where it says x minus 2. We're going to change the sign. So instead of -2, we're going to have +2. So I'm going to flip the sign and I'm going to put it right here, +2. All right, +2. And then my second portion is I'm going to take the coefficients of the top. So the second part of my setup is I'm going to take the coefficients, the numbers that are in front of x. So here, where I have x to the third, that's like 1 x to the third. So I'm going to put that number 1 right here, right? That number 1. These are my x to the thirds. Then I need my x squareds, I need my x's, and I need my number by itself. So how many x squareds do I have? How many x squareds do I have?
1.
Yeah, 1. Thanks, Zephyr. I have 1. How many x's do I have?
5.
5. And since it's negative here, I want to put -5. Right, so I'm going to put -5 there. Cool. And what's my number? What's the constant by itself? Yes, Melanie?
-2.
Yeah, good job, Melanie. -2. Right, so -2 coming from this portion here. Right. Cool. Okay, so we have, this is the setup. We take the denominator, we switch it, and we put it here. We take the numerator coefficients, the numbers, and we line them up here. Okay. And then it's a process. So here, I'm going to show you the process. The first thing we do is we take the first number and we copy it straight down. So this one turns into a 1 right there. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the 1 and we're going to multiply it times this number here. We're going to multiply 1 times 2. That's going to give us 2. So I'm going to put a 2 right here. That is a +2. So I'm going to add 1 plus 2, and that's going to give me 3 right here. 3 right here. So I go down, I go up and across, and then I go down, and now I need to go up and across again. In order to go up and across again, I need to do 3 times 2. So 3 times 2, that would be 6 right here. So I'm going to do 3 times 2, and that's going to give me 6. Since it's +6, I'm going to add -5 plus 6. -5 plus 6 is +1. +1 right there. Now I need to take that number, +1. I'm going to multiply it times 2. 1 times 2 is 2. And that number is going to go right here, 2. Since it's positive, I'm going to add. So I have -2 plus 2 would give me 0. 0 right there. This is, I'm going to put a box around my answer. I'm sorry, that's not my answer. I'm going to put a box around the last number that I get when I run out of numbers. That's how I know that I'm done. That right there is the leftovers. The official math word is called remainder. You might remember that word from elementary or middle school, right? This number that is last, that is our remainder, right? And then these numbers over here are related to what our answer is. So the first number next to the remainder is always going to be the constant, the number by itself. This number right here is always going to be the x. And the next one is always going to be x squared. So you might notice if I put x to the third up here, I have x squared down here. If I have x to the third, x squared here, I have x. If I have x here, I have a number. If I have a number here, I have a remainder. So it's down 1 from how the original labels were. So when I write my answer, I'm going to write 1x squared, although I don't need to write that 1. I have 3 x's, and since it's positive, I'm going to put plus. I have positive 1. Since it's positive, I'm going to put plus. And since it's 0, I don't need to do anything with the remainder, right? Nothing with the remainder. So this is my answer here. That is my answer for this problem with the division. What questions do we have? Any question? Okay, I'm going to ask you this question a few times. If you could go ahead and tell me, how are you feeling about this? All right, so after just seeing one example, how are you feeling? Are you feeling like a 0? This doesn't make any sense at all. Are you feeling like a 1, a 2, 3, 4 is like you're feeling pretty good. 5 is like, totally get it. Yes. Faith, that is an amazing question. So the question was, what if 0 was any other number? What would you have done with the answer? And Faith, you read my mind because the next question is going to have something that doesn't have 0 there. So I'm going to show you what we do. That's exactly what the next one is. Cool. So it looks like there are some 2s, some 3s, some 4s, and some 5s is where we're at right now. I'm hoping that we'll be moving towards the 3s, 4s, and 5s section as we look at the next example. Okay, so we're going to follow the same pattern for the next example. All right, let's go ahead and jump up to this one here. All right, so I have f of x is this right here, and g of x is right here. And I want to do the quotient. Remember, quotient is division. So I'm going to do this divided by that. So I'm going to go ahead and write it. X to the 4th minus x squared plus x plus 5 over x plus 3. All right. So I have my upside down division bar here. What number is going in the box?
-3.
-3. Yes, absolutely. -3. So remember that we had +3. So this is going to turn into -3. That is the opposite. Cool. All right. What is the first? What am I going to put right here? What is the first number?
1.
1. Yeah, definitely 1. And thanks, Emiliano, for your chat. Definitely 1. So there is 1 x to the 4th. 1 x to the 4th. All right. How many x to the thirds do I have? How many x to the thirds do I have?
0.
0. Yeah, I don't have any. So I'm going to put a placeholder for that. The placeholder is the number 0. I don't have any x to the thirds, but I have to include it for this process to work. So 0. And then how many x squareds do I have? Yeah, Nayeli, -1. Perfect. -1. Remember that it's negative because this goes together. Right, so -1. How many x's do I have? 0, for sure. Good. And what's my constant term at the end? 5. Yes, +5. Nayeli and Emiliano, chat masters. Excellent. All right. So I'm going to show you this example again. What do I do with a 1 at the beginning? This guy right here.
Bring it down.
Bring it down. So I have 1. And then I do 1 times -3. I'm going to get -3, and I'm going to put it up there. So now, since this is negative, I'm subtracting. I'm doing 0 minus 3, right? Or 0 plus -3. It's the same thing. 0 minus 3 would be -3, right? Exactly, yep. So 0 minus 3 is -3. I'm going to do -3 times this -3 up here. That's going to give me +9. +9 right there. Since this is positive, I'm adding. So -1 plus 9 would be +8. +8. All right. +8 times the -3 would be -24. 0 minus 24 would be -24. Ooh, our numbers are getting big now. That's okay. -24 times positive or -3 would be negative times a negative makes positive. Does anyone know? Oh yeah, Adrian, good job. 24 times 3 is 72. Nice. Good job, Adrian. So 24 times -3 is 72. And then since it's positive, I want to add it. So 5 plus 72 would be 77. So to answer Faith's question, right, my remainder this time, my remainder is a number that's different than 0. So we're going to see how we deal with that for this question. Before we get there, my remainder is 77. 24, -24, is that my x's or is that my number?
Your number.
Yeah, that's my number, right? This is my number. I have to start with my number. So then 8 is my x. -3 is my x squared. And 1 is x to the third. And again, we see, okay, we had x to the 4, now we have x to the 3. We had x to the 3, now we have x to the 2. That's good because I'm taking out one of those x's, right? If I had 4 x's, like x to the 4th, x times x times x times x, and I divide one of those x's away, I should have x to the third in my answer. So when I write my answer, I'm going to write 1x to the third minus 3x squared plus 8x minus 24. And then this 77, the remainder, it's positive, so I'm going to put a plus sign. I'm going to put 77 divided by the original denominator, x plus 3. So to show our remainder, we put that number on the top, and then we still have the denominator on the bottom. So this is my answer here. So I have x to the third minus 3x squared plus 8x minus 24 plus the remainder. A great question from the chat. What happened to the x to the fourth? We divided it away, right? So we're thinking, okay, we want x to the fourth, and we're dividing by 1x on the bottom, right? So if we have 4 x's and we divide, so think about it like this maybe. If we have x to the fourth and we are dividing by 1x on the bottom, then these two would cancel and we'd be left with x to the third on the top. Right, so our answer would have x to the third in it, which is why we have this x to the third right there. It's because we're dividing out. Each of them is being divided by x, divided by x, divided by x. Amazing conceptual question. Good idea. Okay, I'm going to relaunch this poll. After seeing 2 examples, how are you feeling? After seeing 2 examples, how are you feeling? Can I repeat what I did to the top after 77? Yeah, somebody asks, I think the answer to your question, someone asked, like, why did the numbers go down? Why did it go from x to the 4th to x to the 3rd? And I was explaining, if I have x to the 4th and I divide by x on the bottom, then these are going to cancel like that. So my answer would have x to the 3rd in it. And then with the 77, what I did was I said the 77 needs to go on the top. And then whatever my original denominator was, that right here, where it's like being divided by x plus 3, that right there is what's going to go on the bottom here. So if it was like x minus 2, then we put x minus 2 on the bottom. If it was divided by like x plus 4, it would be on the bottom. Like that. Does that answer your question? Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so looking at our new fist of 5, it looks like now we have more 4s. We had mostly 3s last time, and now we have mostly 4, or like a lot of 4s. We still have some 1s and 2s and 3s. That's awesome. We have a couple 5s. That's great as well. So I am going to I'm going to have us do this one right here. So we have a new f of x, right? Our new f of x is x squared plus 5x plus 1, and our g of x is x plus 3. So we're going to do this third example. I want you to try it on your paper first. So you're going to start by writing out the problem, x squared plus 5x plus 1 over x plus 3. And then I want you to start by writing that upside down division and try to do this problem on your own. I'm going to be back in about 90 seconds. And when I come back, we'll do some more. We'll check our work. If you would like to log off, you can. If you want to stick around, you totally can as well. Awesome. Bye, Sam. Cool. So I'm going to go over the assignment here. You have your notes, and then we're going to jump down to number 1 here. If you want me to send the link for your assignment, I can. The link for your assignment. I'm going to send it in the chat. Bye, Zephyr. Cool. All right, so for this problem here, we are going to start with f of x, and we are dividing by g of x. So we have 2, oops, sorry about that. We have 2, why is it doing that? Go away. 2, nope, it hates me. It really doesn't want me to write on this board. There we go. Okay, we're back. All right, so we have 2x squared plus 3x minus 4 over x minus 2. Cool. I'm going to draw my upside down division. What is the number that I'm going in the multiply box? What's going in that box there? 2. Feel free to come off mute if you'd like. The biggest exponent is x squared, so I'm going to start there. So I have 2. That's my x squareds. How many x's do I have? How many x's?
How many x's?
Uh-huh.
2.
I have 2 x's.
Wait. Oh, one.
Oh, I'm
3x.
sorry. Yeah, we have 3x. Thanks, Roxana. We have
Oh, in
3x.
total, you mean? Okay.
Yeah, no, that my bad, Sebastian. I asked a bad
Oh,
question.
that's right.
So you have 2x squareds, and then what I meant here was like, what is the coefficient of x? The coefficient of x would be 3, right? Coefficient of x would be 3. Good question, Sebastian. That's my fault. I'm sorry. Good answer. So then we have our number by itself, and our number by itself is -4. Also, thanks, Roxana, for helping us out on that. So we have 2, 3, and -4 as our coefficients. I'm going to bring down this 2. I do 2 times 2 would be 4. It's +4. So I'm going to add these together. What's 3 plus 4? 7. Yeah, thanks, Emiliano. Oh, it really doesn't like me today. 7. Thanks, Sebastian. And then 7 times 2 would be 14. Exactly. And -4 plus 14. That's like saying 14 minus 4 would be 10. Thanks, Noemi. Right, and I got to the end of my coefficients. So this is my remainder. I have my number, and I have my x's. Can someone help me? How would I write this as my answer? What would I write? Two x plus 7. Thank you, Emiliano. How do I write my remainder?
Um, 10 over x minus 2.
And is it plus that fraction or minus that fraction?
Minus.
Minus. Good job, Roxana. Thank you, Emiliano, as well. So we can see this is my answer here, and it matches what I should have gotten, which is my answer there. Sweet. All right. Do we have any questions after doing number 1? All right. Let's do number 2. All right. So we have 2x to the third minus 11x squared plus 9x minus 20 over x minus 5. All right. I'm going to draw that upside down division. What goes in this box here? +5. Good job, Sebastian. So we're taking this one, we're flipping it. What are my coefficients? Coefficients. We're going to start with 2. Right. So I'm going to use 2. That's my x to the thirds, x squareds, -11. X is +9. Number by itself, -20. So I have x cubed, x squared, x constant. Probably going to need some more room. Let me draw a new one. Cool. What do I do with the 2? Or is there anyone who would like to help me on this problem? Anybody want to take it away? Come off mute, talk us through it.
Yeah, sure.
All right, talk to us,
We bring
Sebastian.
down the 2, and then we multiply that with the 5, which will give us 10.
Okay.
11 times 10 would be.
We're going to add here.
Oh, add, yeah, that's right. And then it'll just be -1.
-1.
We multiply the 1 with the 5, and then we get -5. 9 minus 5 will give us +4. And then 5 times 4 will be 20. And then 20 minus 20 equals 0.
0. Perfect. Thank you, Sebastian. Do you want to tell me what to write for my answer?
Oh yeah, we're supposed to bring down the symbols above, so it'll be x. Oh wait,
Don't bring
wait.
down the symbols from above. You're bringing down one less than that, right? So if this is your remainder, then this would be your whole number. This is your
That
count.
okay.
So then the -1 would be your x, and
Two
what would
square and x square,
uh-huh.
and then just x.
So when we write our answer, what would we write?
For the answer, we'll write 2x square,
Mm-hmm.
2x square minus -1x
Mm-hmm.
plus 4
Mm-hmm.
equals, or just, yeah, that's it, because you can't put 0.
Yeah, we don't need to put 0 in the remainder. So you got it. Amazing job. Snaps for Sebastian. Awesome, Sebastian. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Great work. All right. As promised, we did numbers 1 and number 2. If you still have any additional questions, feel free to stick around. I can stick around for a couple more minutes to say hello and answer any questions. Other than that, y'all, you are free to go. You just have these problems here. So either 6, 8, or 10, depending on what level you're doing. And then the checkpoint question is next. Or the, it's still, there we go. The Google form is there. There's more extra credit if you want it, but you don't have to do it. So that is it for class today. I will see you on Tuesday, and I'll see you later.